It wasn't easy, but the Gatemen got the job done here tonight, 5-4 over the Bourne Braves. On the Gatemen post-game show, we wrap things up with Josh Richardson. I'm Cory Miller. Josh, a really impressive, a really much-needed win for Wareham against a divisional opponent in Bourne. Now their second straight win, and this win tonight really lets them build some momentum heading into a weekend in which they play two more divisional opponents.
Look, when you start the month of July off 0-5, things can start to get a little bit dicey. But despite that, something that Ryan Smythe talked about so much with his guys was that this division is a lot closer than it really seems. Nobody's pulled away just yet. Everybody is bunched up together within 2 wins of first place to last. So now if you're the Gatemen, you go against Bourne, the 3rd team in the West. You're the last place team. You steal a win. Now you move into the weekend against Hyannis, the number 1 team, Falmouth, the number 2 teams. You feel like you can go out and beat those teams and really just build some momentum and a spark moving forward for the rest of this season.
And when we think about this game, a lot of things stood out in a good way for the Gatemen. The hitting was there, pitching was there, and defense was there. But when we focus on the hitting side, the Gatemen continued that trend of early, scoring 2 runs in the first, but they didn't let up, and that was necessary because Bourne made things interesting throughout.
Well, we've talked about complacency kills so much that throughout this season, and there have been a couple times that it's come back to bite Wareham, and sometimes that they've still gotten away from it, or away with it rather. But something that Mike Mobbs, the hitting coach, really talked about, after the contest against Orleans earlier in the week was we have to be relentless. From start to finish until that last out is recorded, we have to be relentless. And when Bourne ties the game at 3 in the 7th inning, you go out and score 2 runs in the home half, that's pretty relentless if you ask me.
Well, speaking of Mike Mobbs, we'll send it over to Rayna Maggelet, who's with the Gatemen hitting coach.
Rayna Maggelet joins alongside Wareham Gatemen hitting coach Mike Mobbs. So coach, the Gatemen's offense have been really strong, especially as of lately. Yep. What have you noticed particularly about your batters that have been really strong at?
I think we talked about from day one just sticking to a routine, and guys have really bought into the routine that we do in our early work and then the routine that we do in batting practice. And, I think with consistent at-bats, timing gets better, so I think we've seen that. And really, we've just been talking about being a relentless offense from top to bottom. So tonight was our 2nd game in a row where all 9 guys in the starting lineup reached base by a hit or a walk. So just getting contributions from all guys.
How do you balance individual growth while maintaining that team-wide approach?
Yeah, it's another thing we chatted about when we first got together. Just I understand that this league is important for their individual draft stock, but if you can play for each other first and play to win first, the individual stuff will take care of itself, and I think guys are really buying into that, and it just makes the game more fun when you're playing for the guy next to you.
Absolutely. Last question. You have your own merch, you have your own business called Mobbism.
Okay.
Talk to us a little bit about that. I know we definitely want to learn more about that.
Yeah, so Mobbism is just kind of a play on words for kind of like yogiism for Yogi Berra. It was just I said a few phrases in the cages years ago, and some players said, "Oh, that's a Mobbism," and then it turned into putting some of the sayings on shirts and that kind of thing. And so the one I was wearing today says "No TOB around me," and it basically means no transfer of blame. So if we make a mistake, we own up to it, and we move on from it, and it makes everybody mentally tougher individually and as a group.
Yeah, I love that. Well, good job tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rayna, thank you. The Gatemen are back in action with their 2nd straight divisional matchup tomorrow at Hyannis. Catch all the action with Josh and I beginning at 6 o'clock tomorrow on Cape League TV.